We're here with our buddy Scott from Hogtunes, Canadian company, audio. That's what we're talking now, is audio here at the NVP Product Expo. And Scott, you're somebody who we rely on. If we need extra product knowledge, your stuff is available in our store. The product support we get from you guys is phenomenal. So let's talk a little bit about the company, and then we're going to talk about the offerings.
Sure. Yeah, Hogtunes is a Canadian-based company, as Tim said. We've been in operation now since 2004. All of our product is specifically built for the motorcycle industry. We have speaker fitment all the way back into the mid-80s, right through to today. We've got all your aspects covered. Whether you're looking for a full, crazy big audio system or you want something pretty basic, we can certainly help you out.
So let's start with the basic. Yeah. So somebody's got, I know there's a number of older bikes out there, you know, up to the 13 touring range, of course, is what we're talking, and 5.25 speakers. Talk about the Hogtunes speakers and why they're a great upgrade over stock.
So one of the things that we do with our speaker is we develop it so that it sounds good at riding speed. Unlike a standard car audio speaker that's going to have the mid-range brought down a little bit, we actually accentuate the mid-range portion of the sound. By doing that, we get a far more efficient speaker. We get a speaker that's going to cut through that road noise and that wind noise, even with lower power. That speaker is going to make a nice difference just right off that stock radio. Add an amplifier to it, now you've really got a high performance system.
So once we talk about amplifiers, then we want to step up the standard speaker into the XL.
The XL line. So the XL line is now going to be one that we would typically drive with an amplifier. It likes power. We're going to get better sound quality, we're going to get better bass response. The components that we use in that system is really going to be an increase over what our standard Hogtunes speaker would.
Right. Okay, so there are more offerings to go even further. Yeah. So the 14 plus bikes, we would get into the wild boar setups.
Correct. Yeah, we still have the Hogtunes line for the 14 and up bikes, which again is going to be your starting point. But the wild boar is really where the magic happens on these models. This is going to be the higher end line that we offer. We're going to, again, get better bass response. We have far better sound quality, much higher power systems. We can, in fact, do up to a 1200 watt system with 3 different amplifiers all mounted inside the front fairing.
Wow, inside the front fairing.
Yeah, not
so you're
taking up any storage space.
So you're powering speakers that are on your lowers, in your saddlebags.
Tour pack, front fairing, really the possibilities are endless, depending on what that customer would like to do. On the trikes, as an example, people are doing the body kits. They're doing the speaker mounts on the fenders. Certainly, we can make that work as well.
Awesome. Do you get into the low end, like I'm talking about woofer and that kind of thing, where...
Yeah, typically not. We don't do a subwoofer system. Problem with sub bass or deeper bass like this is it requires a lot of power, and a lot of people don't pay attention to how much power they actually have available on the bike. And by power, we mean the charging system. It takes huge power to drive those bass speakers enough to hear at riding speeds. So what we want to do is we want to utilize that power that we have available. We want to utilize the power that we have available, and we want to go ahead and produce the sound that's going to be the biggest requirement, the biggest need. That's what we're going to hear at riding speed.
And the best at riding speed, of course, too.
Yeah.
Yes. So what is sort of new for Hogtunes that you'd like people to understand or look at? And I believe we have it right in front of us.
Yeah, we do. This is going to be our new 5x7 speaker for the OE lid. On any of the CVO bikes or the people that have done a boom audio upgrade, they have a 5x7 speaker lid already. And up until recently, there's not been a lot of options for those people when it comes to replacing that speaker. So that's where this is going to come in. This is going to be a true drop-in, plug-and-play piece. There's not going to be any modification required to the factory lid. There's no modification required to the speaker basket that's already in your lid. This is going to fit right in place. It's going to have the factory connectors on it, so there's no modification on your wiring. It's going to be, like I said, a true drop-in piece. It's going to be watertight. It's going to be high-powered. It's going to go ahead and give you far better sound quality and better bass response than what you'd have with that factory speaker.
Awesome. All of it marine grade?
Of course, yep.
You have to, right?
Yep,
you have to.
Absolutely, and we actually take it beyond that. Marine grade in a lot of cases just means a certain coating on the cone or the spider of the speaker. We go beyond that. We make sure that that speaker is going to be something that's going to be able to withstand the extreme temperatures, which we're going to experience on the bike. Of course, we're going to have washing, we're going to have rainstorms, we're going to have snow, hail, and who knows what else. So we certainly are covered for that.
So let's just briefly touch in before we wrap up here on the technology, the magnets on the back, the whole thing, right? It's it's all designed to bring that power, that sound that is most important at speed.
Of course. So if we take a look at this magnet here, this is called a neodymium magnet. Now, one thing with magnets, people like to see that big magnet on the back of the speaker, and that's fantastic, and part of the magnet's job is cooling. Yes. So we want to have that larger surface area for this. The other half of that magnet, or the other job of the magnet, is control on the speaker. So you got to have something that's nice and strong. Neodymium is just that, very, very strong. Problem is quite expensive. So when you start getting into a very large magnet, now the cost is going to increase significantly. So what we've done in this case here is we have the best of both worlds. We've done a nice strong neodymium magnet, but then on the cooling side, we've custom made metal slugs that surround that magnet, and then it's vented. So as that speaker is moving, yeah, it pulls that heat away from the voice coil. The harder you make this speaker work, the more air gets moved through the inside, and it keeps it nice and cool. And that's, of course, what allows us to make that a drop-in piece on that factory lid.
Exactly. Scott, you're always a wealth of information. We love to turn to you if we have questions, and we do get a lot of audio questions for sure. People trying to do upgrades and things. Come and see us at the shop at Conquer Motorcycles, and we can get you started. If you've got tough questions for us that we may not quite be sure of, well, we're going to get on the phone to Scott, and he's going to help us out. Thanks for your time, sir.
Anytime. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.